Alright, well thanks for tuning in to the H2O Mechanic YouTube channel. So, I think we were here maybe a month ago. I had the customer call me and he says that he was having water troubles, like everybody else. So, this job's a little bit unique. How he discovered that he has water troubles is with his computer, of all things. So he has this transducer that's tied into his pressure side of his plumbing system, and that transducer is hooked up to his computer, and it tells him every time he has a pressure fluctuation. So whether it goes down to 60 or down to 40, up to 60, that's every time the pump cycles. So he was actually able to see that the pump was cycling even when they were sleeping. So that gives him a pretty good understanding of something's using water when they're not using water, when they're sleeping. So when we came here, what we found was it was a bad bladder tank. I said, let's fix what we know is broken first, and then if you still have an issue in the future, then we'll address it. Well, guess what? Now it is the future, and we're here to address it. All right, how you doing, John?
I'm doing pretty good.
So I guess the check valve's bad after all, eh?
No, I think it's a little different than that.
You think?
I'm pretty sure. So I put the check valve here. Didn't help.
You put it.
There's the check valve right here.
Okay, now if the one in the well was leaking and you put one here, then you would be getting air in your system every time the pump kicks on occasionally. Do you get air?
No.
You don't? Okay.
So it just got worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
And so you guys are busy, got things to do, I understand that. So I put another check valve between right as where the pipe comes into the house.
Still doing it?
Nope. Works great.
So you got a break between the well and the house?
Yep.
You think it's at the basement entry again?
Yep.
God, okay. Okie dokie.
So your brother was taking care of the Tierneys the other day.
Yeah.
When I was having this problem.
Yeah.
So I went over and asked him some questions.
Okay.
And he said, well, if it was me, I'd put my ear on that pipe right where it comes into the house.
You'd hear it hissing.
And I hear it hissing.
And it's hissing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, guess it's not the check valve after all. Wow, that's crazy that you don't have. Let's go look at it. Normally you have a water leak like that, you notice it. Now I assume it enters somewhere near those air conditioning units.
Yeah, I started on a hole. I'm not as good digging as I used to be, but anyway.
Yikes.
And the dirt was really dry, and I thought, well, hell,
Yeah, but see, all basements have a French drain around them.
I know.
So,
So that's pretty damn close to where the pipe is, and it's probably another foot down, and I didn't want to hit it, so, I stopped.
Okay. Are we 100% sure it's here?
Well, we're going to go inside and look.
Because what I see this red dirt here, like maybe.
Well, see
I know
these two.
Okay, those are the AC.
We can go in and look, and
you can
looks
see
like
them right
it's
there.
right about there. So
Yikes. That's fun. All right, let's go in the basement. Yeah. Do we have block we can count? Yeah, we have blocks we can count. Okay.
So.
At least we'll be able to. Good Lord, yeah, it's down far.
Yeah.
That's
see, those
1, 2, 3,
vents.
4, 5, 6, 7 block down. Whew.
And so
okay, yeah.
It's kind of right in between those two.
Okay.
Maybe a shade closer to this one.
I got you.
And because it's straight pipe, I put one of these in, and I was not confident of that.
No, that really doesn't work, does it? 7 block down. Okay.
We'll
go outside and we'll count to see how many blocks we have, and then we'll see how much further we have to dig based off.
Well, since it's all brick, you can't count blocks.
I guess 1 block should be 3 brick. Sort of. It'll give me somewhat of a distance. All right, I've been digging for about 20 minutes. Finally got down to where the pump is. Or not where the pump is, but where the pipe is. There's the pipe right there. So, because he's got 2 check valves in the system, it's not going to leak only unless the pump is actually running. Once the pump kicks off, the check valve he has at the tank will prevent flow back from here. So I'll have to take that out of the equation. but it's crazy. It's not wet here, but the ground is semi-soft around this point here. Oh, there it is. Wow.
Wow.
You see that?
Yeah.
The 90 broke off.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 90 itself that's leaking.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. The glue joint let go.
Yep.
Okay. That's crazy that this wasn't coming through his basement wall.
Yep.
All right, John, turn it off. Now that we've exposed it, it's separating more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Okay. This is going to be a trick. At least it's softening the dirt right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those, like, worst case scenario situations. The glue joint let go due to stress of the settling of the ditch and the backfill around the basement. So all of the basement around a house is typically filled with gravel, and then like the top 3 foot is filled with dirt. It's your French drain. That way when water pushes against the basement, it goes down, it finds the gravel, and then it washes away, and it washes down the hill of the house. All that gravel, all that backfill against the house settles over time. This is the second time it's happened. We fixed it, I guess the house was 14 years old when we fixed it the first time. Now it's been in another 5 or 6 years, and it settled again, and it's actually pulled the glue joint out of the 90. Didn't break the pipe, but it pulled it out. Either way, it's still under severe stress. So we need to dig it all the way up, expose the pipe, expose everything, and redo it all brand new again. Frustrating.
Drain.
Yeah.
And they extended that brick wall down there. So I looked at the end where the pipe comes out.
Yeah.
No signs of.
No signs of moisture. So the plants are probably eating up the water.
Right now I bet they are.
Well, Mike says the ground below the pipe is soft, but the ground above the pipe is
Hard.
Is hard. So all the water's been going down.
Makes sense.
That's wild. All right, me and Mike have been digging for probably the last 10 minutes with our hands. See, with our hands. Okay. If you can tell, this is the first elbow from where we fixed it in the past, okay? And then we had to elbow it up and elbow it up again and then into the wall. Look at how harsh this pipe is being bent. I don't know if you can understand that angle. That angle, it's probably bending it down about 25 degrees. I'm surprised this hasn't snapped in the wall, to be completely honest. Now, this right here is where it slipped out of its glue joint because of the pressure that it's under. Now, another thing to understand is that elbow there, okay, is connected to the original water line. Then it's elbowed again and elbowed again. So there's 3 90s here in this section. Right now, the original water line, from where it used to just 90 through the wall, has settled somewhere about 6 to 7 inches from when it was first originally installed, if that gives you any understanding of how much this is all settled. Now, the issue we're dealing with is this was the repair we did 6 years ago. All this around this is a giant root mass. So if I go like this, all these are roots. And they found the water, which is crazy. You gotta dig them out with your finger. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with. We've got to expose this enough to where we can fix it. And I may push a new pipe through the wall. I haven't determined that yet. I'll give y'all perspective. Mike's down here on the ground. We're both reaching about as far as we can reach with our arm to get in here. And unfortunately, we're like right here behind the bush, up against this house. But what we're finding, we're exposing the pipe more and more, but we've noticed that the electrical wire is extremely tight. I mean, it is pulled super tight. Yeah. That pipe goes around the world, man. This is crazy. It's even getting crazier. Look at that. So it comes this way, it goes down, it goes to the left, then it goes down, and then it goes again to the right. And then I assume it goes from the right, and then it comes back this way. If you look at where that is to where that pipe is, what do you think that is, a 10-inch difference?
Mm-hmm. From
down there at the bottom up to the top?
At least.
Yeah.
8 to 10.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's settled a long ways. I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna jerk that pipe out of that wall.
All right.
And we're gonna start fresh to try to take all the stress off of it.
Okay.
All right, man, this thing's gonna snap and pop.
It has been holding.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't hit me. Honestly, it should have some sort of memory in it for being bent like that for so long.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. I don't know. Definitely don't want to have the wire. Look, it's still settled again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Settled even more. Another. Wow. Still pulling down on it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go see if I can jerk that pipe out of that wall. And then we'll cut it down there and put a 45 to where we can get a straight,
Yeah.
you know, a straight transition again. All them angles. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so what we're going to do, first thing, make sure the house doesn't drain back. We're going to turn this off. That should isolate it. We're going to cut this. We got to try to jerk this out of the wall. But I just tried beating it through the wall with my hammer, and it didn't want to budge. So I'm going to cut it down here and give myself some leverage to where I can twist it. Let's see. Yeah, baby. Ain't no. I'm surprised that even prevented rainwater from coming in. Watch how crooked this thing's gonna be. Look at that. Wow, it kinked it in the wall. Holy crap. That is nuts. That is nuts. It's amazing it didn't break right there. That's Silverline for you. That is not Charlotte pipe. That is quality pipe. Silverline, baby. Silverline. Alright, we're going to replumb this and take that check valve out of the equation. I think we can rock with that. Now we're going to stick a new pipe through and replumb the outside. Alright, so this was the old pipe that went through the wall. This pipe here in my hand is the pipe that we're going to use to now go through the wall. One in my hand is about a foot longer, which is good. We're going to just slip it right on through. And I can pull it in and out wherever I need it. Now I already know that's probably about roughly thereabouts where I'm going to need it, and it gives me enough here to cut. We're going to go get some basement sealer and pump it full and then slide it in. Okay, so we got the new pipe through the wall. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down there on the bottom, and then I'm going to get a couple fittings and see what I can make work with the least amount of fittings. I think I can make it work with just a 45 and then a Schedule 80 elbow. Alright, well, without further ado, in 10 minutes, I present to you my repair. This is the best way I could do it. Only way I could do it, really. This is kind of crazy. But I took a bunch of that other 90 crap out of the equation. I'll show you. This is what it was. Yeah, kind of wild, ain't it? But that's no longer there. New pipes in the wall. Got me a Schedule 80 elbow coming out of that wall, and then it goes to Schedule 40 with the 45 and the 90. I had to do it that way. I didn't have any more Schedule 80s with me, but I put the Schedule 80 right there on the one that's going to have the most stress. I wish I had a Schedule 80 45. That would be really, really nice, but unfortunately I don't. But a lot of fittings in the ground right there. It's amazing how much this is settled. I mean, that's like 10 inches of settle right there. That is absolutely bonkers. Alright, time to go inside and hook the tank back up. So I've got my 90, I've got everything sealed up, so we're good to go there. Mike's going to go on the outside and put the shovel against it to where when I go to glue my elbow on, it doesn't push through the wall. Alright, so it looks like everything's good to go. We're going to let this dry for the next few minutes before we energize the system. This is the pressure transducer that he had hooked to his computer, to where he was actually able to determine that he had a water leak before any of us actually knew it. That's how we knew there was a leak somewhere. If anybody's curious about it, you can pause the screen, order you one of these things. What kind of software do you have to have on your computer to work this?
Well, that little itty bitty thing in the blue box.
Oh, that?
Yeah. That, it's got...
I guess it's this.
There, yeah, it's got a little thing I made.
Okay. That's pretty crazy.
It's just a little C program that rides on the thing. And
that's cool.
Reads it every minute.
They use the same sensor on Grumpus SQE pumps. That's wild. All right, homeowner is gonna go kick the breaker on and make sure all my valves are open. Cross our fingers. This has got to be the worst water leak I've done in probably 5 or 6 years. I can't think of one that's probably worse than this. Thank God, man, this homeowner's smart because he figured it out. He figured out that there was a leak right there. Props to him for that. Because I was totally going the direction of pulling that well pump out. I either said that the fitting in the top of the well pump had started to get loose and was leaking back, or the check valve in the pump had started to fail. Because it would drain the 7 gallons in the bladder tank over about an hour period of time. So once every hour, while they were sleeping, the pump would cycle. Now that's 7 gallons in 60 minutes it would leak out. So that just gives you an idea of how small of a leak it was. So every indication of that would be check valve in the pump or the fitting in the end of the pump. A lot of times the pump torquing, if it wasn't tightened in really good, it'll unthread itself and then it'll just weep around the threads. I've seen that dozens and dozens of times. Typically, pipes in the wall that should have broken or came unglued or pulled themselves off, very, very rare. Very, very rare. Cool. Everything looks good here. Time to go outside. All right. Looks good. Got the hole through the basement all sealed up. Sure walk up. Very happy with that. Looks a lot better. Hopefully that won't break.
Yeah.
We took the weird 90s out of the equation and got a 45 on there. So now we actually have true elbows. So we'll see. If not, we'll be here in another 5 to 6 years fixing it again.
Let's hope not.
Oh, Lord. What do you think? Scale of 1 to 10, how bad was it?
It was kind of solid. Good thing he had them post hole diggers there.
I can't believe the dirt, like 1 inch above the water leak, was dry.
Yeah, that's below it.
All the water went down.
Yeah. Because that's probably where it was at. The bottom was open and it was pushing it down. And stuff.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, typically when we find water leaks that are...
Yeah, at the top.
Yeah, like they always come to the surface.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.